All right, guys, we are live with the eSports Report. Puckett and Jack. Jack, I've been gone, but I've been told you're holding it down, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of great viewer interaction recently covering the 2K, a little bit of EGL and AEL from the past couple days. So it's been good hosting the show, but it's nice to have you back.
Man, pretty busy stuff. So I missed a 2K tournament, a European tournament, and a U.S. LAN tournament at AEL. So today's show, we're talking about an upcoming European tournament, but a lot of the activity from this past weekend will be discussed in our conversation. But before we get to the Gfinity talk, Jack, we got to talk about Advanced Warfare, another major trailer hitting today.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people are getting hyped about this game. You know, Ghost was always a big game. Every Call of Duty installment is always big.
Right.
And now we're getting to the point of the year where the next teaser stuff starts coming out for the next game. I know a few people have had a chance to play it. Those are some really lucky people, whoever they are. But the game's looking really good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the multiplayer.
Absolutely. If you guys missed the single-player trailer, though, it came out earlier today, and at the very end, we just see a little glimpse of multiplayer. If you missed it, don't worry. We got it for you here on the ESR. Let's take a look.
It was the first global terrorist attack in history. They struck nuclear reactors on 5 continents simultaneously. And in an instant, threw our world into chaos. With our government and military crippled, we turned to a private military company called Atlas.
Atlas has the single largest standing military in the world, but we answer to no country.
They fought our wars. They rebuilt our cities.
The truth is, we often find that we're more effective than the governments that hire us.
Gave them an immense amount of responsibility, and with that, an immense amount of power.
We are going in.
An operation on foreign sovereign soil, it would be an act of war without congressional approval.
Atlas is an internationally registered private company. We don't need Congress. Ideas don't determine who's right. Power determines who's right. And I have the power. So I'm right.
Wow, so there you saw at the very end, multiplayer world premiere 8/11/14. So August 11th, just about a week and a half away here, Jack. Some big stuff coming our way from Advanced Warfare. But about that video, what got you excited?
You know, the campaign, for the first time in a while, I'm a big multiplayer fan, but I am excited for this campaign.
Is it Kevin Spacey?
Oh, yeah, he's the man. He's great in House of Cards, and apparently now he's just transferring over to this game. He's a renaissance man, that Kevin Spacey, and it is really going to be an extremely good campaign. I cannot wait.
So what about the campaign, though, from that video? What are some of the specifics that got you excited to play the campaign for the first time in a while?
I mean, you gotta see the grappling hook. That looked pretty cool. I like the idea of the camo. How can that play into missions, as well as you even saw at the one part they're just dropping in and jumping all over the place. You had someone flip over and shoot. It's looking like a really mobile game and fast-paced, especially in the campaign.
Now, at the very end of this, we saw a little taste of multiplayer. It was just one kill and a little bit of thrusting that we saw from the packs. But what are your early thoughts on what could come in this multiplayer?
You know, I think it's going to have a much larger skill gap, this multiplayer, especially with the mobility as well as the sidestepping. I think that could play as kind of a drop-shotting tactic where now you'll have all sorts of different ideas. I'm looking forward to really seeing how these will work. I watched a couple breakdown videos, and people are really trying to analyze, like, oh, maybe the sun in this quarter means this. It's like, no, you're going too far. I think there's some awesome stuff, but it's a little bit too quick to judge. Some people are already worried about how the double jumping is going to work, if it's going to be a little bit too crazy. I think that everything's going to work out fine. I think Michael Condrey's got us covered.
Well, we'll take a look at the multiplayer more on August 11th. But, guys, last week I filmed a short video with my thoughts. Now, PR won't let me say everything, but I have had my hands on the game. And here's what you may have missed from last week's ESR. Full multiplayer will be available at Gamescom August 13th to the 17th in Cologne, Germany. If you guys are a fan of the Call of Duty series, you are going to want to make this event, the full multiplayer, available to the fans for the first time. Now, I have to say, I am super excited for what we're going to be getting in November. I had the chance to go out and see the game and preview multiplayer for myself at the Sledgehammer Studios. Michael Condrey and the boys showed me around the game, showed me all of the greatest highlights, and I can't say much about it, but PR will let me say this. The gameplay is much more fluid and much faster than any of the Call of Duties I've played up to this point. On top of that, I think it's safe to say that this new title puts more emphasis on skill than any of the other Call of Duties that I've played before this. That's all I'm allowed to say right now. In fact, I had to look down at my notes and made sure I was within the boundaries. So I can't say anything else. I wish I could. But guys, let me tell you, if you're able to make it out to Gamescom, make sure you wait in that epic line to play the game. You will not be disappointed. I think we're all in for a treat when the game launches this November. All right, so Gamescom, you can play it for yourself if you're going to that big convention in Germany. But for those of us who will be watching at home, what are some of the things that you're hoping we'll find out come August 11th?
You know, a lot of people were wondering about the score streaks in the video. There was a little point number there. They're hoping that there's the return of promoting the objective play. People really like that in the more recent COD, especially in Black Ops 2. If you hopped on a point, you got rewarded for it. If you played the objective role for your team, it wasn't all about slaying and kill streaks like in previous Call of Duties where people would just sit up in a house and camp for a nuke. It doesn't work like that, hopefully. As well as people were wondering what the little images mean in the bottom right. It's very hard to tell what they are in the video, but I'm hoping we get to find out more. Maybe their exo abilities, maybe they had little power bars, so I'm hoping that it's something unique and cool to this Advanced Warfare.
All right, so looks like we got to wait a week and a half, but the good news is we only have to wait a week and a half before we get our first taste of the multiplayer for Advanced Warfare. But until Advanced Warfare comes out, it's still all about Call of Duty Ghosts. We're going to commercial break. When we come back, one of the biggest tournaments in Europe, we'll be discussing it with Martin Wyatt, one of the big faces from Gfinity. Be right back.